Alright guys, so in this tutorial video I'll be teaching you guys how you can perfect your alignments, how you can work on your alignments. I know a lot of you complained about not being able to align the text properly or not understanding what I mean by the center alignment. So in this video we'll be working with this little design and I'll scatter it and then help us to see what a perfect alignment looks like. So let me just do a little bit of flipping. Sorry, I did something now. Okay, so let's scatter this a bit. Now, alright, so I'm not going to move the arrows because I love the way they are. Then we're going to adjust them in a different way. So now we want to work with graphic design secrets. So first, let's pick our graphic design. So I've positioned these graphics at this point, and this is what I want to work with. So let's go. So now I want to get a perfect alignment. I'll be introducing the grid. The grid, I showed you the grid. If you've watched the previous video, you will see the grid over here. So let's go. We'll be working with this grid. Now I've clicked on the grid and we'll be making a new one. So here I'll be adding a new grid because I don't want to tamper with the ones that are there originally. So by clicking this plus button, I've added a new grid for a vertical grid. Now we move it to this line where I want where I want to align the text. So I'll be doing this. Alright. So I have this text now, graphics. With the positioning tool, I'll get that perfect position. Good. Now I'll just do the same thing with my design. You can see there's a lot of space between design and the good. I think this is perfect. And let's go with secrets. Alright, so beautiful. I believe with this I've attained that perfect alignment. Now we'll do the same thing with the little text over here. Now I'll be aligning it to the right side of this line over here. I believe you all can see the line. So I'll align it to the right side of this line. I mean the left side, sorry. So this one I might not necessarily need to add the grid because if you can see there's no problem, there's no need to add your grid. Myself, I'm already used to doing it. I don't really need the grid to align my text. But at times you might need to make use of the grid and your zoom button. So for those who might need to zoom, you can see it. I've made use of the zoom to make it bolder so that I can see what I am working on clearly. Alright, so I'm satisfied with this and I'll be zooming out now. So yes, I have this design and you've seen it easily. I've worked on a perfect alignment. Now I can decide to try and make this text perfectly aligned, left and right alignment. So I'll come to my align. This justify down here. Can you see all this? This is how the text would look like without me adding justification. But since I've decided to add justify, let's give it justify. Sorry, I think I passed that already. Align. So justify. Alright, so the text now will try as best as possible to be aligned on a straight line at the left and the right. Can you see it? So that's the effect of the justify. So if you want to align the text to the left and the right, you can just edit and make use of the justify too. Now I'm satisfied with this arrangement. But now this design in general, like I mean all these contents, all this, I want them to be in the middle. Sorry, excuse me, my voice is cracking. Alright, so I want them all to be at the middle. So what do? I can, moving them one by one now can be a bit stressful. So instead of doing that, you can come to this. I told you earlier in the previous video when I introduced Pixellab to you, I told you that Pixellab works in layers. So now I'm introducing all the layers of my design. This is all the layers. I've used all the tools, everything I've imported to make this design. So now I want to edit it. So now take note, I'm not editing these shapes. These particular shapes, this one, I know these dots. I am not moving them. I am satisfied with how they are. So what I want to move are the text and the arrow. So I'll come here and click on this button over here. This button over here. So when you click on this button over here, it introduces a few tools for you. There's the delete tool. There is a edit tool over here too. That's one how to select. I did not introduce these tools to you previously, and so as not to make this video long, I'll also not be introducing them, but I'll just show you what I intend to do. So now to select this, I want to select all these resources: the text, the arrow, the text, the arrow, and the line. So I'll come here. I'm not touching these shapes, the first 4 shapes there, because I'm not moving any shape. So what I'll do is now click on each. You can see these small boxes on, like in front of each of these resources. You can see these small boxes. So I'm going to tap on the ones I'll be working on. So let's start with the line. So everything I know I'll be working on, I'll just tap on them, and yes, I think this is everything. So after tapping on it, there's 2 ways to ensure perfect alignment for this. The first one is by merging these objects together. So now if I click on this, you can see the icon I clicked on to merge. This icon here is what I clicked on to merge the two together. So if you click on it, to bring this up a confirmation to confirm if you want to merge it. So now you can click OK. So can you see now all this design have become one right over here, this top design. You can see it has all become one. So if I decide to close this and I move, can you see me dragging this one? So I'm dragging the whole design together. Now to ensure I'm perfectly balancing this image, all I'll do is just come to my positioning, go to my relative positioning tool, and centralize it both in the middle and the top. So I've clicked on centralize for both top and middle, and now I have this. So the design is centralized like this. As it is, this design is perfectly balanced. So now one of the reasons why I don't recommend merging is, let's say there's a design, a mistake in your design now, and okay, you've done this mistake. Now you want to correct just one mistake here. Okay, maybe the color of the second arrow, you want to change it from orange, you want to change it to white. It's impossible to do that now because you have already changed the color of, I mean, you've merged all this together. If you decide to change color now, you'll be changing color of the old design. Can you see that? You'll be changing the color of the old design, so that's not going to be very sweet at times. So I don't recommend merging. So let me undo all this still before I merge. Good. So I will undo everything to the time when I merge. So now I have all my icons checked. So now, instead of merging your tool before you can move them, what I recommend is activating your grid. Now activated by all the images up. So the same tool that we clicked on earlier. Now instead of making use of the merge tool, we're going to be making use of a different tool entirely. We're making use of this tool. So now I'll click on the needed icons and resources. So I'm clicking on all these. Is that what I need? Good. So instead of clicking on the match tool, we'll go with the tool I mentioned. So you can see it's bringing out a few other tools. The first one is a rotation tool. The second one is a size tool. If you want to increase the size of all these at the same time, instead of having to increase everything one by one, you can make use of the second one. I mean this. The first one is this, the rotation. Sorry. Let me quickly click them again. So the first one is the rotation to this one over here. That's rotation 2. The second one is our size 2. You can use to increase the size of all what you've highlighted at the same time. And the third one is the relative movement tool. I believe you can see the icon already. It's familiar. So relative movement. So instead of merging all this together before I move them, I can just click on the relative movement tool from over here and see it. I've done that. The exact same thing we did after merging. I've done that already without having to measure this icon. I've done it, and then you can see I still have my icon separated. So let's assume I want to change this second line now from orange to white. So what I'll do is come and select it. I've selected it, and now I'll go to color and give it white. Done. So the deed is done. It's very easy. Oh, I did not select one of the text over here. Take note. Good. I love as this even happens. You'll notice here I did not select one of the text. So when I moved, that text that I did not select did not move. Let me undo so I can move everything again. So let's start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, all has been selected. So relative movements, yes, balanced ruler. So this is it, perfectly done. So you can use this instead of having to merge. The reason why I don't recommend merging, I already stated it before. Sometimes you might want to re-edit. After merging your design, you might not be able to come back to it. So most time, even if you have to merge a design and you are sure, even when you are sure, oh, I won't be using this thing again, like okay, graphic design secrets together, this text completely, I can just decide to take them before I merge. I can save this and say okay, this is graphics design secrets, and I'll save it. So now I've saved it, I can decide to come to this and say okay, let me merge this now, graphic design secrets. So now I am merging them. I've merged them together. So I've merged them together. Now I can move them as I please. I'm moving just this side, I'm moving the whole thing together because they are merged together. So I can do this. And let's say now I want to change the color of this one alone. I can start to change the whole color together. Then fine. But if this is not to my taste, oh, I don't want the whole thing to have the same color. This is a mistake and I cannot undo. You know, right now it's easy for me to just undo because I just graded them together. I just merged them together recently. But let's say you merge them together, you've done a lot of design after that. The undo, we start to undo everything you've done so far to the point where you merge the design. So instead of that, you can easily just come back to the design you saved. Let's say I've merged all this. Let's assume I've merged all these ones together now. I can just now save it as a new project, save as project, and say, oh, graphics design secret 2. You know, the first one I saved it as graphic design secret. Now I'm saving this one as graphic design secret 2. So this will be graphic design secret 2. So I can just come back to my previous work here. Graphic design secrets is the first one. I can click on graphic design secret, and it will open the previous design for me. I'm not opening it anyways, the same thing. So I'll just open the previous design. I'd make the adjustment here. I can decide to remove every other thing from the image. Let's get rid of all this. All I want is graphic design secrets. So I can get rid of all this. Make the edit that I want. Let's say it's this one. I just want to change to a new color. Let's have the new color. Let's go with something like this. Okay. And I'm satisfied with this. And I'm just using this for a tutorial anyway. So these colors are not really working together. I'm just using it as a tutorial. So let's say we're working with this. And now I can just take it to a transparent background. I can save it as image. So when you save as a save as image, you can see the png, the format png, that's the image with a background. So I can try to save it. Oh, let me save it to my gallery now. I've saved it as png. Then I'll go back to the design I've already edited. I've gone far with it and come here, then import that one I just did. This it here. Can you see it has no background? So I just pick the part I want and zoom in on it and cut this out. Can you see? So now I cannot make use of this instead of this one. So I just delete these ones and say, oh, I no longer need these ones. Rather, I'll just use this. So That is just the main thing. So getting your alignment perfected and the positioning is very easy. Now if you want to move all this little by little, you don't want to use the what's this tool again, the relative movement tool. You can just come and do the same thing. List out your, select the items you'll be working with. Oh, sorry, I was looking. Select the items you'll be working with and click on the same tool. Then this last tool over here, this one, yeah, the one I just touched, your relative and your movement tool. So I can just like how you move every icon, I can just adjust a bit. Okay, I can select every design secrets. So I can just select this. You can see I've selected this one. I've selected now. I can move them little by little to satisfy my taste. Okay, I want them to be a bit like this. Oh, this is nice. So I can start to do it like this and then adjust this one down balanced. So it's still balanced. The design is still looking okay. Now I can just decide to increase this to just make it look much more balanced and bring it here. Perfect. So I have my design looking nice. So that is just it for the tools generally. Now yeah, I made use of the lock tool recently. So let me show you something. When designing, sometimes you might have the item good. Now I want to click this arrow. Let me unlock all my design first. All the tools. Let's unlock. I think I made this one. Okay. So I have unlocked everything. Now I want to click on this arrow tool, this orange one. But you can see while clicking on it, my hand is actually clicking on this graphic design secrets. Now sometimes all our tools can come in the way of your design when you have too many equipment, I mean too many items beside each other. You have too many design elements beside each other. It might be a problem when you try to click on one, you can be clicking on another one. So anyone you've positioned, okay, this graphic design secret, I don't want to move it again. The position is fine by me. You can just come to this and lock it. Now I've locked it. No matter how hard I click on it, I cannot move graphic design secret. You can see this. I'm trying to move it, but it's not moving. But if I try it on this now, you see I can still move this as much as I want. So I can just move this and make it like this, or put the tip like this, whatever I want. So that's just it for that. That's it for this video, and I'm sure we've gotten a way to make our perfect alignment, and we can also balance our image properly.